Here is Peter VAIUSU, leader of the feared Australian prison gang, the Iga bloodline. In this rare clip, VAIUSU makes it clear. In his eyes, Pasquali Barbaro was no gangster.
But I don't look as good as them. That's why I don't look as good as them, because I don't touch it. But back then, he was a pretty boy, stocky fella. And when he came in, he had no ties to any islanders. But he was known as someone who was linked to the mafia. But it was really his father that gave him his name. Pasquali was literally a nobody when he first came in. But I didn't really like him when I first met him because he was very cocky. And this is where I'm gonna keep it short, yeah? 2004 came, Moses To'o, who had just moved from Goulburn to Junee. So it was me, Moses, and Pasquali, and a lot of my boys were all there. And I got a message from someone that was related to Pasquali. And the message was, we will pay you $40,000 to stab him. And I was like, what? Okay, isn't that your family? And he's like, I didn't really know what was going on. But that was the message. The boys rallied around. They were going to do what needed to be done. But Moses intervened. And for those of you who don't know, when my family first came to Australia, we lived with Moses' family. So Moses got a brother named Charlie, and he was the one that helped my father and my brother settle into Australia before my mum and I came to Australia in 1991. And Moses ended up getting into a lot of drama when we were all living in Fairfield at the time. So he moved to Newcastle. And from there, that's where he copped that double murder charge, ended up in prison, and ended up becoming the Trump of the Islanders. And when Moses was in prison back in the 90s, he met Joe Barbaro. And Joe is Pasquali's dad. Joe was his dad. So he had a big name. And when Joe came to prison, a lot of crews tried to put it on him for money. So remember what I said to you guys. When you hear about all these mafia figures and all these so-called gangsters that are out here, just because you hear something and see something on the news, it doesn't mean that they are who they say they are. In prison, it's a whole different ballgame. You can be the biggest gangster out here, but as soon as you hit those prison walls, different ballgame. If you don't pay the right people, if you're not a part of the right team, and if you're someone that's got big money like Joe did, then they're gonna be hassling you for the rest of your lagging. And when he come in, Joe, he was hassled. The Islanders, which was Moses and the boys, stuck up for him after he paid a large amount of cash to the Lebanese boys after they stood over him. So goes the story. I'm not saying they did stand over him, but the vast amount of people that I come across told me that he did get stood over and he did pay, and it was Moses and the Islander boys that protected him. He went under Moses' wing and nobody ever touched him again, but he did pay the Middle Eastern boys what they wanted while he was in prison. And this is a big time mafia figure. But the person that I'm talking about is his son, the one that everybody knows. As soon as you punch in Pasquali, you won't see his dad, you'll see him, because he was the one that was murdered a few years ago. Abu Zar Sultani, he got charged for that murder, along with Sier Mushazara and a few other boys as well. I'll touch on all that stuff later. Let's stick to Pasquali, yeah? So after the $40,000 was offered up, the boys were going to do what they had to do, but then Moses pulled me aside, obviously because I'm family, and he had gone religious at the time, yeah? And he begged me and said to me, please, Pete, I need you to call off whatever the boys are going to do And I said, what are you talking about? Like, I tried to play dumb, yeah? And he said to me, look, I can see tension, and I can see that you guys keep looking at Pasquali like something's going to happen. And he goes, so I came here, and I'm going to ask you, please, brother, let it go. Whatever his people are offering you, he goes, let me give you what I have and just leave it at that. And I said, but also, the boys are hungry. They want to eat, you know, and this, what got offered was $40,000. And he was a bit shocked because when I told him it was for, I'm not going to repeat it again, but it was for that, he was a bit shocked and he was like, far out. He shook his head and he said to me, can you do me a favor? He goes, have a look at him. Every Sunday he turns up to church. Every Friday and Saturday he does Bible study with me. Peter, if you and your boys attack Pasquali, you're going to be attacking one of God's sons. He's trying to change his life. I was so upset because I was like, bro, Pasquali's just talking rubbish. He's literally only just hanging out with the old man Moses to get protection. And there was nothing that we could do about it because we all had love and respect for Moses. And it's just like my boys. When they want to do what needs to be done, if I say no, they won't do it. But they won't do it because they're scared of me. They just won't do it out of respect. You know, that love and respect is what we had for Moses as well. So I explained to Moses, I go, why is it that you love this bloke so much? Like, he's selling drugs around the prison. He's organizing the boys to move a lot of things when they get out of prison. Like, I'm pretty sure he's still playing gangster, Uzo. And he goes to me, Uzo, trust me, he's not, like, he's just trying to be a part of your team, you know? And he's trying to fit in because he has no one. Remember, he's Italian, so there's not many Italians that come to prison, you know? This is Australia. And I already told you guys what the 4 main nationalities were. Kuris, Asians, Middle Eastern boys, or Lebanese boys was the majority, and Islanders. And so, I don't know how to put this, but let's just say Pasquali was very, very blessed because we chose to give the love and respect to Moses that he deserves by leaving that contract aside. So he ended up not getting got. And from there, I ended up going home. And when I got home, my guys sent me a message and told me that Pasquali was now offering them all this stuff. So upon release, when they get out, they're going to be sweet. Yeah. I got out and ended up going back to prison for a fight. And my guys got out. So pretty much we switched, yeah. My guys got out and Pasquali was out. And what my guys didn't realize is Pasquali was using them as muscle. So remember what I said. Pasquali was never hanging out with Islanders. He was never with Islanders. But when he come to prison, he met Islanders. So when he got out, he knew who was the strong nationality that he needed to have around him in order to be safe. And when my guys were walking around him, it was pretty much, he was the Don and he had my guys following him everywhere and he was paying them and whatnot. But then a situation occurred where his family wanted him to come to Griffith. And for those of you who don't know, Griffith is a well-known, established place for mafia figures. If you watch all those Osborne gangs and all that, the mayor got killed over there. Like, it's pretty big. Griffith is a known mafia area, yeah? And he got called to go to see his family. What he told my guys was, I'm getting called for dinner from my family at Griffith. So I want you to come with me so we can go enjoy this meal with my family. He didn't tell the boys that there was dramas that his own family wanted to get him, yeah? So what happened was the boys jumped in the car with him and then they went to Griffith. Listen to this, yeah? This is what I'm talking about when I always bring up people in the background who are influential, yeah? This is Pasquali. He knew these Islander boys, which were my boys, didn't really understand the mafia game, yeah. And my guys are just muscle. Like back when we were first up and comers, we got our name from fighting, yeah. And we weren't about guns and knives. Like my whole team, everyone can fight. So when they went with Pasquali, they didn't think nothing of it, yeah. But as soon as they turned up to Griffith, this is what happened. They turned up to Griffith in the car. Pasquali gets out. 3 of my boys jump out and they walk together. As they walk together, there was one person standing there. Yeah, he was Italian. They got over there, and as Pasquali went to walk forward to shake his hand, 6 guys, 3 from this side, 3 from this side, came and they pulled guns on my 3 guys and on Pasquali. And my 3 boys are the ones that told me this story, yeah? They said they were standing there and then they were looking at these mafia figures who had guns pointed at them. And then they were thinking to themselves, what the hell's going on here? Like, we came here for dinner and now we got guns pulled on us, you know? Pasquali, like, started, like, begging. Like, the boys were saying, like, well, what's this? Are you serious? Oh, you told me that we're coming here to talk. As soon as he said that, all the boys immediately knew that Pasquali had brought them to be his muscle and didn't explain to them that there was a drama, yeah? The person who sent the contract wasn't there. So what happened was the family found out that another family member had put a contract on Pasquali. So the family called Pasquali to come and meet so they could try to squash this beef between him and this older family member that wanted to get him. And this is where it starts. All the stuff that you see on the media now, Pasquali saying he was a snitch, he was this, he was that, it all just come out now. But guess what? Everyone that was in prison already knew about this, because this was said back in 2004. Look how long it was. You know, the bloke only got killed a couple of years ago, and 2016, yeah. But this was said back in 2004 that he was a snitch way back then, and I knew about it, and everyone that was with me that knew about it. But obviously there was no paperwork, so no one could do something about it. But that's the reason for that contract. And when the boys got guns pulled on them, the Italian crew that was there was 7, ended up telling my guys, turn around and walk. So guess what happened? My 3 guys had to turn around and walk, yeah, in bush area, and they were trying to find where the road was so they could try to make it back into Griffith town so they could catch a train or something home. They ended up catching a train, like, to wherever they had to catch it to in order to catch a bus to get back to Canberra, because that's where they came from. And they never knew what happened to Pasquali, but when Pasquali messaged them back, he sort of bridged up and said, nah, it's all good, it's all good. They were just testing you guys. But I found out later on that was all rubbish. No one was ever testing the boys. He took the boys knowing full well there was dramas, and then the boys got turned on, and as soon as the boys got taken, Pasquali got pulled inside and they gave him a few in the chin before they sat him down and talked to him like family and tried to sort out the situation. And pretty much, from what I know it, he got cut from everything that the mafia had at Griffith. He got cut from everything. So he pretty much, they told him, like, piss off to Sydney or to...
Like, comment, and subscribe for all your Aussie underworld updates.